Good day and welcome to yet another episode of Erongo Talk, our community, your news. Today we find ourselves back in Swakopmund, specifically at the Boathouse Sea View Suites guest house. And today is Swap Ideas Day, so I hope that you guys are swapping ideas and innovations so that we can beat this COVID-19 thing together. And in today's episode, as usual, we bring you the news, weather, as well as the tides, and a very, very interesting interview that is from Precious Gowases as well as Linda Garises, who talk about how they are revamping the business model of the business which is known as Namchoice. So Namchoice is a business that provides linen as well as embroidery goods to the industry of the tourism industry. So these linen goods also includes medical linen goods. So don't move an inch, we'll be back right after this. And now for the news. In the first story, the Namibian company that planned to bring domestic livestock from South Africa and Botswana by road to local seaports for export by ship to Kuwait has pulled the plug on these plans for now. The decision was made in the wake of a petition and condemnation from local animal rights groups against the proposal to ship live farm animals over long distances in the grueling conditions to the Middle East. So the director of Tradeport Namibia, Monty Javera, told Namibia Media Holdings that he gave instructions on Tuesday to put everything on hold for now. This includes the environmental clearance application that had given rise to the protests in response to the company's plans to ship as many as 125,000 sheep, cattle and goats to Kuwait. So Javera said that his decision to stop the process was made after he noted that the strong opposition locally and internationally to the export of live farm animals via sea to foreign abattoirs or farm animal buyers. So that is a very, very interesting story that you can also catch on our website on www.erongo.com.na. In our second story, the Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, announced 180 new COVID-19 cases and as well as a record number of 659 recoveries, as well as another 2 COVID-19 deaths. So Shangula said that the ministry received about 1,907 results yesterday, and that of the positive cases, 91 are male, while 89 are female, with the youngest being 1 year old, as well as the oldest being 73 years old. So the confirmed cases are distributed as follows. Windhoek has 99 cases, Walvis Bay 23, Swakopmund 13, Usakos 1, Keetmanshoop 4, Karasburg in the south 3, Ludritz 3, Rehoboth 8, Marienthal 1, Rundu 9, Okahanja 7, Ochivarongo 1, Katima Mulilo 4, Khobabas 2, Oshakati 1, and Nankundu 1. So the minister explained that since 5 September, 1,199 contacts were swabbed, of which 36% of them, which amounts to 434, tested positive. So he was quoted as saying this represents 55% of the total confirmed cases reported in the last 5 days of the 434 contacts who tested positive, and 303, which is 69%, did not present any symptoms consistent with COVID-19. So on a lighter note, in terms of COVID-19, the minister also announced 659 recoveries, most of which is now 545, were recorded in Khomas region, followed by Erongo with the 59 cases, or recoveries rather, Ohangwena with 18, Hardap with 12, Kavango East with 11, Omusati with 10, and Ochodonjupa region recording 4 recoveries. So really positive news in terms of recoveries in the COVID-19 situation in the country. And the Erongo team, which includes, of course, the Erongo 24/7, will keep you updated on latest developments which pertain to COVID-19 on our website on www.erongo.com.na, as well as our Facebook page. So do keep an eye out for that one. And in terms of our last story, nearly 1,000 people have signed a petition demanding a stop to a proposed business plan that would see thousands of live animals being shipped. So this was, of course, related to the first story that I told you about. So titled "Say No to Livestock by Sea," the petition was launched by the Namibia Animal Welfare Association, NAWA, in response to a business plan to transport live sheep, cattle and goats from Namibia to Kuwait for slaughter. So the business proposal by Tradeport Namibia is outlined in a background information document, which is acronymed as BID, which forms part of the company's application for an environmental clearance certificate. So that was the news, which you can all catch on our website on www.erongo.com.na. Do keep it locked to Erongo Talk. We'll be back right after this.
So today we are at Namchoice in Swakopmund with Linda Garises and Gowases, who are co-owners of Namchoice, and they're going to tell us a little bit about how Namchoice is involved in the pandemic. So initially Namchoice makes linen and embroidered products for the tourism and hospitality industries, but in the pandemic they have started making medical linen. So hi guys, how are you?
We're fine, Irene, yourself?
I'm doing fine. So then I want to know from you, Linda, why did Namchoice decide to venture into producing medical linen?
Irene, as you were saying that we were producing bed linen for the hospitality industry. As you know that Swakopmund is a stronghold of the hospitality industry. Then with the pandemic, the business in the hospitality industry went down. They were really affected big time. They didn't have clients anymore. The business literally died. And we also had to think out of the box, what next now? If our clients are not there anymore, if we can't get clients because they have closed down their facilities, and then we had to think what's next. And that is when we thought of the medical garment. And what also made us to think, we once visited a hospital in Windhoek when we were doing our marketing last year. And while we were chatting with the CEO, he said very good about the impact that we are producing bed linen. And then he said, what about the theatre garments? For instance, we use a lot of doctors' theatre gowns, more than bed linen. So I think we will have a market there if you can think of it. So it was already in our minds that at some stage we have to expand our business and go to the medical field. So when now this happened, the pandemic, we thought this is the best time, because also the hospitals, there is a demand for these garments for the medical clothing. And we know that they buy from South Africa, which is very far, and South Africa also being hit by the pandemic themselves. These garments are also in demand in South Africa, and then it becomes difficult for the hospitals to get them. So we thought, okay, let's go for it and expand and re-engineer our business and go for what is in demand currently.
Yes, so then Precious, I want to know from you, how is the production of medical linen different from the production of linen for the hospitality industry?
Thank you, Irene. The bed linen that we're producing before were quite a straightforward product. It did not require much of patterns, and technically it wasn't that much to put up a bed linen garment. For the garments that we are doing currently for the medical clothing, it's products that requires skills in terms of having patterns and even the putting up together itself. So it was a transition from bed linen to clothing, and making sure that our employees have the necessary skills and that we get extra skills, to also train them and to assist in terms of quality of checking our clothing, and as well as material, the fabric itself. We used a fabric for bed linen, 100% cotton pattern, and this time around we needed to get different colors, and different type of fabric according to the requirements of our clients. So yeah, it was transition which we are happy we have gone through it, and currently, as you can see, we are producing the items, and we are happy that we are able to do that. Yeah.
Okay, and then Linda, do you think you will continue making medical linen after the pandemic?
We will definitely continue because there's still a need. I mean, in the hospitals, we'll always be operating even after the pandemic, and we can't throw away that client base now that we are busy developing and creating. We'll definitely continue also after this.
And then, Precious, could you show us a little bit, you're sitting with some of your products on the left. Could you show us a little bit of the products and tell us a little bit about the products that you now offer?
Okay, thank you, Irene. Proudly made products that I'm sitting with here just as samples. We do doctor's gowns, the theater gowns the doctors wear when they go into theater. Okay, and these are the doctor's gowns that we do. We also do nurses scrubs. The nurses suits that they wear when they're at work, and we do them in different colors and also in different texture of fabric depending on our clients' requirements. Okay, and we also do patients' gowns, the gowns that the patients wear when they go into hospital and into theater. We also do that. And then we have added a new item on our line, and this is duvet inners. We do beautiful duvet. Okay, we do beautiful duvet inners, as you can see. Okay, in different sizes as well, and all made right here in Swakopmund at Namchoice Bed Linen Factory. And like she said, we customize for our clients' needs. When you order something from South Africa, you come, you see it doesn't fit. How do you get it back to be redone the other side? So we are here, we customize. We sometimes even go into facilities and measure exactly the sizes that the beds of our clients and also the sizes that they require.
Then lastly, Linda, do you have a message to the public at the time of the pandemic?
Thank you very much, Irene, once more. The message is, this is the high time for the public out there to support the local businesses. Hospitals, doctors, the hospitality industry had already started, but we are asking our new clients, the hospitals, the clinics, the Ministry of Health, please support the local. The local is not only about making money, we are also creating employment for our people. So please let us support each other and let us take each other through during all these eras so that we can grow the economy of our country together and be proud as producers of our own products in Namibia. So we are saying, please support the local. Support the local.
We will continuously improve. And we continuously improve when our clients give us feedback. When we supply a garment or an item that they see that perhaps it could be improved, like one of the hospitals that came to us to say, make it a little longer and close up here, and we do that. We appreciate that kind of feedback because it's that kind of feedback that will make Namibian businesses to improve. Let's start at home. We are in this boat together.
And then you also cater to individual households, I believe.
Yes, if somebody wants anything else, that we can make, we do make for them. And just to emphasize also to what Precious was saying about the fact that we can customize anything according to the customer's preference or requirements. An example, one institution had bought a lot of things from South Africa. You are not saying there's something wrong with buying from South Africa, but why must you buy something which you can get locally in South Africa and not support the businesses locally? They bought this item, a lot of them, because apparently for them it was cheaper to get them from South Africa. And they told us, here is the thing, they are old, they are old now, they are stuck, they can't use those because the size is totally different from what they need. You understand? Those are such things. With us, if we can make the sizes of the bed, for instance, they are different. And you don't get, you only get in the standard size for bed linen. So if you got anything different from that, you want your bed to be made special and you want bed linen for that, you can never get it at the shop. And once more, as Precious has said, our fabric that we use for our bed linen, you can ask any other hotel or guest house which has ever purchased from us. You can go to our website and check some of the clients whom we have served and ask about the quality of our fabric. It starts in the fabric before the quality of the garment itself. We've got a high quality fabric, strictly packaged. We use a package, 200 pounds. That is the standard that we have put to our bed linen. Therefore, we promote also quality at Namchoice, and we are open-minded to be corrected because we want to improve. We want to improve and we want to produce quality.
I must say, as I'm sitting here with some of these garments, they are quality, very, very high quality. Stitching is wonderful. So, if you have any linen needs, you can come to Namchoice. Remember, it's
And now for our tides and weather. So for the tides, we had our first high tide at about 10 minutes past 8 o'clock this morning, and our first low tide is anticipated at 2 p.m. We will also have another high tide at about 35 minutes past 8 in the evening, with our last low tide coming in at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. For the weather conditions in Walvis Bay, the sun rose at 3 minutes past 7 this morning, and it will be setting at about 5 minutes to 7 later this evening. And the maximum temperature expected for today in Walvis Bay is 30 degrees Celsius, with the wind coming in from a west-northwesterly direction. And tomorrow, the minimum temperature will be 13 degrees Celsius, the maximum of 22 degrees Celsius. In Swakopmund, the sun also rose at 3 minutes past 7 this morning, and it will set exactly the same as in Walvis at 5 minutes to 7. Maximum temperature expected for today is 26 degrees Celsius, with the wind coming in from the westerly direction. And tomorrow, the minimum temperature will be 14 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 20 degrees. And in Henties Bay, the sun rose at 4 minutes past 7, and it will be setting at about 4 minutes to 7 o'clock in the evening. Maximum temperature expected and forecasted for today is 29 degrees Celsius, with a southeasterly wind flow direction coming in from that specific town. Tomorrow, the minimum temperature will be 14 degrees Celsius, with a maximum of about 20 degrees Celsius expected in Henties Bay. Moving inward to Arandas, the sun rose at about 1 minute past 7 this morning, and it will be setting at 7 minutes to 7 later in the evening. And please do make sure that you do take caution, all the residents there in Arandas, because there will be a heat wave that will be taking place until Friday. So the maximum temperature, as the heat wave does suggest, is 36 degrees Celsius in Arandas, with a northeasterly wind flow, and a minimum of 15 degrees expected tomorrow, with a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Usakos, the sun rose at about 2 minutes to 7, and it will be setting at 9 minutes to 7 o'clock later this evening, and a forecasted maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius with a northeasterly wind flow. So easterly, east wind temperatures and weather forecasted in inland for these towns. So tomorrow, 15 degrees Celsius minimum for Usakos with a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. Karibib, the sun rose at 3 minutes to 7 and it will set at about 10 minutes to 7 o'clock in the evening. Maximum is 32 degrees Celsius for today with a northeasterly wind flow. And tomorrow, 14 degrees Celsius will be the minimum with a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. Last but not the least, Omaruru had a sunrise at 3 minutes to 7 this morning, with the sun expected to set at about 11 minutes to 7 o'clock later in the evening. And the maximum temperature is 32 degrees forecasted for today with the east-northeasterly wind direction expected in that specific town. For tomorrow, the minimum temperature will be 13 degrees, and that is what is forecasted with a maximum of about 33 degrees Celsius. And that was your weather and tides. Do stay tuned. We'll be back on the flip side. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of Erongo Talk. But do not despair. We still have a lot to offer on our website, which is www.erongo.com.na. And we also have a lot of followers on our Facebook page. Over 65,000 followers on our Facebook page. So do make sure that you do check that out. And as a corporate, it would be very good if you use your common sense and do make use of those 65,000 followers and perhaps advertise with us as well. We are also available on other social medias like Twitter and Instagram, and do make use of our WhatsApp number as well, which is 0811 7040. I repeat, 0811 7040. So do send your news tips as well as videos to that number. So tomorrow my colleague Leandria Lowe will be presenting from Walvis Bay. So do make sure that you also check that very laid-back Friday show. So from me, Adolf Kaure, it has been a pleasure having you in my company. See you tomorrow.